What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So it's Flash Day, and what the hell was that episode? I have no idea what the heck that episode was. I don't know. Um, but anyway, you guys know the deal. Huge spoilers coming up. So if you have not seen the episode and you don't want to be spoiled, probably best to tune out now. And then come on back once you've watched it, and then you'll know what we're talking about. You'll know about the insanity that just happened, and all just the complete weirdness that occurred. And then you can come on back and see if you guys react the same way. Because I mean, I didn't hate the episode, but yeah, we'll get into it. All right, okay. So spoilers on the way. All right, so. Duet, which was technically a crossover with the Supergirl's I think it's Star-Crossed, I think it was, which was quite a good episode. I actually quite liked Supergirl's episode before this one, with the whole Daxam thing going on, and Terry Hatcher and the Hercules, I can't even remember his name, those two coming in and sort of resolving Mon-El's storyline, and exposing him as the prince of Daxam and things like that. So that was cool. I enjoyed that one. And then it's like maybe like 5 minutes at the end kind of led into this one. It introduced the Musicmeister into the thing, and sort of gave them the gateway through to Flash, essentially. But anyway, getting back to Flash. I don't know. Like, look, I'm not a hater of musicals. Like, I'm not a lover, but I appreciate them for what they are, okay? Especially the classic ones, all the rest of it. They have a place, and I do not hate them. I don't. Do I go and watch them all the time? God, no, I don't. But, I appreciate for what they are. Was it? I don't think it was wrong for them to do it. I don't think so. I just think it's a weird timing thing. Like, Flash has got very sort of dark and serious for the past 2 episodes. Then suddenly it's musical and Super Friends and all the rest of it, singing and all that. It was just like, like 40 minutes of like, what the hell just happened? Now, what the heck was that? Like, I can't get my head around it. I can't. Basically, all this was to get Barry back together with Iris, and to get Kara back together with Mon-El. That was really all this was made for. It was all it was done for, and to show off all the cast seemed to have very good singing voices. They clearly have more skills than just acting and all the rest of it. So well done to them. I mean, none of them really sounded out of place. Kara, Melissa, I think her name is. She had a very nice voice. There was, they had a lot of them seemed very good at what they were doing. I had no problems with their singing or anything like that. But I'm not a musical thing. Like I'm not. I don't listen to music all the time, and I don't listen to musicals and stuff, so I can't say. But, some of the Super Friends song was, like, very cringy. Like, are we really going here? Are we really going here? And some of the accents and stuff, like, it was, like, what, 20s Chicago, like, sort of gangster sort of thing. Like capiche and all that. It was... I don't know. It was very, like, they put a lot of effort into this episode. Like, they had full-on choreography, dance scenes, and hey, like, clearly they wanted to show off, like, hey, our cast have a lot of different skills that we want to show off, like with dancing and singing and all the rest of it. But I don't know. I just don't know, frankly. But like I said, this episode was just all about getting Iris and Barry back together, and obviously um Kara and Monel back. So if you want to go this way, that's cool. It's a bit of a fun episode to throw in there. But I just don't think it's an episode you throw in near the end of the season. I feel like this is like mid-start season. Like, you know, you get past the initial, getting back into the season, like, especially the start of the season, where it's normally quite exciting stuff happens just to get you back in. Then you kind of have a lull through the middle there, and then you build into the season, like mid-season stuff. I feel like this kind of belonged there, where you can have these weird, funny episodes and it doesn't seem out of place. This one seemed very out of place to me. I'm not saying it was bad. I just felt like, hang on a minute, we just got Wally out of the Speed Force. He just went through a traumatic thing. We're just having, like, Barry and Iris on the rocks, like, literally breaking up, and Savitar just got out, and everything's going kind of downhill, and it's getting quite dark, and getting to a point where, like, okay, we need to, like, it's getting more serious, right? Then suddenly this, and it breaks you out. It breaks you out of that story, out of that world very quickly, and it's like, it's very jarring. I felt like it was like, what the hell is this? Why is this here? So yeah, it was just very weird. And I kind of wanted a better crossover with Supergirl and Flash. I feel like those two are quite good together. I like that combination, and obviously it was the beginning of Supergirl coming to CW, so that it created that world, brought that world into the universe of Flash and the multi-universe thing. And I kind of wanted a better crossover with them, especially when they claim like it's a 2-episode, like 2-show thing. Flash never appeared in Supergirl ever. In Starcrossed, never appeared. And yeah, he only got mentioned once by the Musicmeister, when he says, "Oh, I'm off to see the fastest man alive." So yeah, I don't know. And it feels like too, like Supergirl's had 2 of these things now. Like she just had that, like, that what's his name, Mr. blah, 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 like one. So she's had 2 of these now in a very short amount of time. So it's like, okay, let's maybe move it along a little bit. Yeah, I just would have liked a better crossover with these 2. Like, Supergirl's a really good character. How about we use her better? Like, I always felt like even the Dominator ones, like, they shied away from using her all too much. Like, yeah, in the big battle at the end, and obviously she went around the world and all the rest of it, but they shied away from it a lot. They're like, we don't want to show the power difference here, with her and, like, at Green Arrow and things like that. But you shouldn't shy away from it, because this is what technically it's technically building to. So I would like to have seen a better crossover with her. Have Flash go into her world at the start, then maybe her follow him through, like, as a full-on 2-part episode thing going through. But this is what they went with. The musical thing. Alright. Obviously we got that Glee guy. What's his name? Darren Criss. I don't watch Glee. I've never watched Glee, so I don't know who this guy is. He played kind of a he seemed like a kind of a trickster type character. It seemed like a lot like. And I mean, like, obviously he's got musical experience and stuff like that, so they used that. And he had a big scene, a musical scene and stuff like that. And for those who don't know, Musicmeister is actually a villain. He's actually a villain in this world. And he's meant to take over people and, kind of like a hypnosis thing. So he is a villain. Is he a big villain? He's one of the, the lesser known ones. He's definitely not a big one, but he's done things. He's done big things. And he takes over people and things like that. And they kind of use that here, where by having Barry and Kara in the the sort of dream state thing they were in, he could actually use their powers. Like, he had both Flash and Supergirl's powers. All he really used them for was to kind of play around with Wally, John, and Cisco. By the way, though, I was very happy to see Cisco going into battle, going into fight a bad guy, because he's at that point now. He's at that point where he is very useful on a battlefield like that. Like, you could see how he used his teleport, his portals to get, John into the right places and, get him into the right places and things like that. So, definitely would like to see him, engage in more battles and things like that. So, that was a cool part. But yeah, he's just technically, dude, you're supposed to be a villain. You have the abilities of Supergirl and Flash, and you kind of just play around with them. It was all a joke to him. It was all like a trick. And it was all a lesson in love and all the rest of it. That's what all it turned out to be. Okay. So you're kind of like a Cupid, I guess? A god of love or something? I'm guessing they're technically calling him. Okay. Okay. I just didn't get it. I mean, I love a good love story. I love a good thing like that. I mean, but I just didn't see it wasn't really the place for it. I mean, the overall plot of the story, how they're in a musical and they got to follow the plot to get out and things like that. And if they do die in there, they do die, and they get in this sort of 20s scene and with the gangsters and stuff like that. And then bringing in all these different cast members from Supergirl, Flash, and Legends, and technically Arrow if you include Merlin, was quite cool. I liked all of the mesh of all that. I liked it a lot. But again, it was still why are we doing this? Why is this here? All of this was to get Barry and Iris back together? Okay. I don't know. I think it's just them having a little bit of fun, which is cool. I mean, shows should have fun. Shows should have, the ability to get, to go out there and have these fun episodes and things like that. And aren't too serious and things like that. But I just think you got to pick your moments in the season to do that. And doing it right after you just rescued Wally from the Speed Force after watching his mother die constantly for goodness knows how long. The two, the biggest love story in this, love relationship in the story has just broken up. The big bad guy has just escaped. One of the speedsters has just gone away and left. One other speedster is now trapped in the thing, and you have to save him. It's you want to put it right there? You want to put it right there. You want to liven the mood back up again very quickly, and then bring it back down again. I guarantee next week's is gonna it'll want to suddenly go up and down again and want to bring it back down to reality again. And it's it's really not a good way to do it. It's very jarring. It's very like a roller coaster. It's you've got a good story going. Flash was actually kind of getting good because all of the mistakes that he was making was finally, he was paying for them. He was paying for those mistakes. And he was just starting to get moving and get more serious about what he's doing. Then suddenly, oh yeah, we'll just have a musical thing. We'll just have a musical. I mean, I was all keen to have a crossover with Supergirl, like I said, but is this how you want to use it? Is this really how you want to use it? Oh, well. I mean, like I said, I don't hate the episode. I didn't hate it. I just don't see why they wanted to put it there. Like, I guess, like I said, to get the two characters there, to get the relationships back together. But that's not a good enough reason. It's not a good enough reason. But yeah. What else? Obviously the big thing. Obviously Barry and Iris did get back together. And the wedding's back on again. He asked for the right reasons this time, so congratulations. It's always meant to happen. It's always meant to happen. Barry and Iris are that couple in Flash. It's like Lois and Clark. Clark and Lois, whatever. It's like that. They were always meant to be together, so there's always ups and downs and stuff, but it was very quick. Like, it was what? Like an episode? An episode of them being, like, on the rocks. Now they're back together again, and all's good. I mean, alright. It's okay. It's alright. At least they're not messing around with it too much. I don't mind that. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what else to say about this episode. It was weird. It was out of place. It was good. I, enjoyed watching them, sing and do all this stuff. And all of them had very good, singing voices, or they were coached very well. And, I was happy with the episode. I just felt like, why wasn't this, like, earlier in the season? Maybe. This, little out of place. Little out of place. Like, kind of like, if you swap this with the Dominator storyline, I think it would actually kind of fit better. Because, Barry's sort of going through a dark patch, not being trusted by people, things like that. But I guess, it would mess up the entire story. But it still would kind of fit a little bit better. But, hey. I don't plan these shows. I don't go anywhere near that. That's not my thing. I guess you kind of like just... It's one of those... It's kind of like the Spectre of the Gun episode with Arrow. How they just do these random episodes that doesn't really have anything to do with the main story, but they just want to throw them in there. This was one of them. You should have just passed over that one if you want to skip, an episode to get to the main story. So, hey. Fair enough. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say about this episode. It weirded me out. I don't know. If you love musicals, you'll love it. If you love singing and all that, that's cool. I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I just thought it was weird where they put it. But hey. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for us. It's a bit shorter this one, guys, but there's nothing really to go into. Yeah, super friends, and he'll be there in a flash. that was what I took out of it. That's what I took out of it. I do like the pairing between Barry and Kara. I like that. I think those two together are quite cool. Bit of lighthearted. They're a bit, they're the two happy ones. Out of all of them, like when you get him with Oliver, it's more serious. So it's kind of cool to have those two together. But anyway. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for watching. Do hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know when the new stuff comes up. We do this for Flash, Arrow, Star Wars Rebels, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So check out the channel. Also check out me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheAverageKiwiGuy now. I changed my name, so do go check that out. And also AverageKiwiGuy on the Twitters and the Instagrams and all that stuff. Okay? Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch us next time. Peace.